We fixing to make this town real smoking.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today in this video I want to talk about Marvel Tokon again, but this time instead of putting my opinions and my experience into a video, which is what I did in the previous video, I want to talk about what the player base has been experiencing, which is very different than my own experience, because I didn't experience too much bugs, glitches, or anything of that sort. It was smooth sailing. I had a great time, but focusing on everyone. First, when you talk about the Tokon beta, you have to talk about how the PlayStation servers crash during that. This kind of is funny because PlayStation wants everyone to go digital. They don't want people to have physical games anymore. And then you're experiencing one of their games and then the servers crash and there's no way to play it. That's kind of ironic. The universe works in mysterious ways. It kind of just shows how that whole going all digital thing was a mistake. But when you focus on Marvel Tokon itself, the servers going down mid beta definitely is going to prevent people from playing it when they maybe scheduled, took time off work, or etc. Right? But the servers was back up eventually, and then people were able to game again. Now, from what I've heard and what I've seen, the PlayStation experience and the PC experience is vastly different. And I would like for you guys to comment which platform you played on, because I think that will definitely change the way that you view the beta, right? Like, I played on PlayStation, which is why I had such a great experience. But on PC, it was running like trash. People couldn't even boot up. I seen everyone saying, from like Justin Wong to others, saying like the PC won't even let me in. Do people even get it to open up? There was jokes that the beta was PlayStation only because they made it unable to run on PC. It was just a lot of chaos revolving how the PC is trying to run the game and it's not fully optimized. This is always an issue, it seems, with PC betas and just PC in general, where there's so many different type of PCs out there and it's hard to make the game work for all of them. But it seems like with this beta, it worked for none of them. So that's kind of a bad thing, because it seems like it's been that way basically for the majority of the beta, and that's not really good. Before we move any further, please consider subscribing, leaving a like on the video, and also turn on notifications. But let's continue. Now, for the people who were able to get the game open on PC, they were then met with different issues, like the game running at super low frames, super low quality. If you guys are on social media, I'm pretty sure you've seen like how pixelated the images are. It's not a good look, but once again, it is a beta, so hopefully with all of this data that they gathered, the feedback that they gathered, it's something that they can fix before launch, because these technical difficulties was definitely impacting the way that the beta was being played. You could see the players going on and offline because they were just sick of it. Now, as I was gaming on live stream playing the beta, the servers went down for emergency maintenance. And at the time, of course, I was kind of upset because I wanted to continue playing the game. But overall, I thought it would be a good thing, because there was some issues that was just plaguing the game. And it would be good if they could take the servers down immediately and fix it. When they took the servers down, it was about 28,000 players on it at one time for Steam. So it was kind of was breaking a record. And for those of you who don't know like how big of a number that is, when the Tekken 8 beta happened, it was 15,000. When the Street Fighter 6 beta happened, it was 33,000 people on. So Marvel Tokon was coming very close to surpassing Street Fighter 6 player count on Steam, which for those of you who know, that game is massive. So if you could beat them in any way whatsoever, it just shows how much hype is around this game. But when the servers went down, the number of players went from 28,000 to 15,000, and that was a gut punch, because the game could have done so much more. Now, eventually, when the servers came back up and you gave it about like an hour or two, it climbed back up to 33,000, and it eventually did surpass Street Fighter 6 by a couple of players. So they still did it, but I think it could have did so much more if the servers didn't go down. Now, when you talk about the servers going down, when they came back up, it really didn't fix anything. Like, for example, a problem that was plaguing kind of everyone, not just PC players, is the experience that was being had in ranked and casual matchmaking. For almost 2 days now, you cannot find a match. Some people could go in there and find matches very quickly, relatively easy, but then other people were stuck in search purgatory. And I thought when they did the maintenance, they would address that, but it still hasn't happened. And it's just kind of unfortunate that a lot of these issues are lingering on past the first day into the second day, and now as I'm making this video, we're dawning on the third day. PC problems are everywhere. It's very unfortunate, but hopefully the issues are fixed before launch. Another thing that personally I was upset by, and I kind of should have tackled this in my previous video, but we'll talk about it now, is the lag. The lag in Marvel Tokon is kind of weird because the game would be running kind of perfect, kind of normal, and then all of a sudden it would just glitch really hard, and you'll just be sitting there looking at the screen. Sometimes the disconnection menu will pop up, sometimes the game just freezes hard, and sometimes it just disconnects right away. But instances where the game is like really laggy, where it's just consistent lag throughout the match, I was kind of disappointed that the game doesn't have a feature to where you can leave. Like, for example, with Street Fighter and Tekken 8, Street Fighter has a feature where if the game detects lag, it would allow you to press, I believe it's like select or down on the D-pad or something like that. You could press a button and you could try to basically rule the match no contest. In Street Fighter 6, your opponent has to agree as well for the match to be ruled no contest, which kind of sucks. I think Tekken 8 does it the best, where in the first round, if the game detects any type of like connection issue in the first round, you can hold I believe it's select or touchpad, and then you could rule the match no contest without the opponent agreeing, and then you can leave. So I would like for a feature like that to be in Marvel Tokon, because it seems like on that front they're going backwards when you have some of the other games who did it better. Each match kind of lasts a long time, where you're dealing with 4 characters, cinematic cutscenes, super abilities, long combos, and then you have like multiple rounds. And when you have a laggy opponent that you're fighting the whole time, it's very, very frustrating. And that's something that doesn't need to be there, because like I said, other fighting games did it better, where you can either leave by choice or both players can agree to leave. If they can address some of these things that I listed out in this video, I think the release of the game will be very well. They definitely have to get PC under wraps, because that is putting a shroud over the whole entire game. But beyond like connection issues which are expected during the beta, I personally have been having a lot of fun. I understand that there's people who have their complaints against like balance and characters and things of that sort, you know, animation style, visual clutter. I understand all of that stuff, but that is more so like personal experience, right? Some people, with every new game, everyone's going to try it and people are going to walk away thinking it's for me, it's not for me, etc. But in this video, I just wanted to kind of highlight the things that are universally problematic with the game. And this is what a beta is for, to find these problems, address these problems, but then fix it on launch. I personally think that this game could go on and do incredible things. I mean, if you just look at the peak player count, a lot of people are interested. And then if you look at the way people are talking about it on social media, a lot of people are loving it. So if they could continue this momentum, if they could fix some of the issues, it will be fantastic. And I think that this will be a primary game when you're talking about FGC. And I think you'll see a lot of blending of other communities, where you'll have some Tekken players play it, some Street Fighter, some Mortal Kombat, some fighters, some Guilty Gear. This game has the potential to pull in from everywhere because of the Marvel IP as well. They could pull from outside of the FGC, and they could just sit atop of a mountain, but they have to lay the foundations of that, which when you're talking about fighting games, connection is definitely the pillar, and then also balance. But we'll talk about that at a later point, probably when the game fully comes out and people get a real understanding of like what the characters are going to do, because we don't even know if this balance that we're experiencing now will be the launch balance of the game. And then of course you have characters who aren't in the game, features that's not available, etc. Like and subscribe, and also turn on notifications. But that's it. Bye bye.